everybody, welcome back to my channel Made with Love. My name is Heather and today I'm going to make some quick, easy little Santa gnomes. Now I was at Dollarama and I found this pack of these really cute little toddler socks. These are the 12 to 24 months. So they're a little bit bigger than the infant socks. I'm just going to cut this tag off so I can show you like the size. And so one sock is just a red sock and it's got the white heel and the white foot. But the other sock has got the little Santa belt. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, I could make a perfect gnome out of here. But I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to stuff it, use the little triangles, was it the styrofoam form of the like Christmas tree form, or what I wanted to do. But I have, where did I put them? They were just, right in front of me. I got these little jars that either maraschino cherries or my little sauces like teriyaki or honey garlic sauce would have come in. And the sock is the perfect size to fit in the jar. That way there's so many things you can do. You can put the lid on and have the Santa hat on the lid. You can fill this with stuff. Now I used all the lids for all my jars when I was making my little macaroons for the Christmas tree ornaments. So I'm going to just cover the whole thing and with the sock. So I'll actually show, because you get 4 socks, because it was 2 pairs, you get 4 socks. Oh, excuse me. So I actually went and made 2 gnomes yesterday just to see how quick and easy. Now I have it all glued into one, so this jar cannot be used. I didn't put anything in here to weigh it down because he's going to be sitting on a shelf, like high up on like the bookshelf or on my fireplace mantle. So there's the 2 I made yesterday. So this is the one that had the white heel, so I glued the beard so that covers the white, so all you get is just the nice red outfit. And then this is the one that had the Santa belt, which means at the back you do get the white here. I haven't decided what I'm going to do to fix that. I was going to have the hat longer, but I'm just trying to use up what stuff I have, and I had a few odd pieces of material, and I just realized that I just pulled his hat apart when I was just flipping him around, so I'm gonna have to glue that back. But I don't know, I just figured I wasn't quite sure what to do about this white here, how to cover that, because if I would have had bigger pieces of material or felt, I couldn't find my pack of felt, and I could have made his hat bigger to hide some more of this, but I just didn't. But I figure it's at the back, you're not really gonna see it. So, excuse me, I'm going to be losing my voice, I can tell. Okay, so first thing I did was, I'm just going to do these at the same time. First thing I did was I just cut the white toe off. Don't really need that. It makes it so much easier to do this if you can just get rid of as much of this white as possible. I'll show like on these ones. So I glued the sock onto the jar and then I just used a gray felt to hide everything at the bottom. But it's once you cut into some of these socks, they just start to fray. But I found that when I had just put the jar straight into the sock, and the way these socks were stretching and stuff, that the jar was just tipping. So that's why I just cut the little feet off, or the toes off. And of course it's just taking the sock and just putting it over top of the jar. Like I said, I'm just going to do both these jars at the exact same time. This, and I'm just kind of pulling the top part of the sock into the jar. And then I just realized I don't even have my hot glue gun beside me. Shoot. Oops. A loose thread here. That happens with these dollar store stuff. And then I'm just going to glue the bottom of the sock on and the top of the sock on. So I just have to plug my glue gun in, because that's what I forgot to do. Okay, my glue gun is now plugged in and ready to go. I just wish I had the extension cord, but I'm using my extension cord that I usually use for my glue gun. It's in my living room with the Christmas tree right now, so I can't really move my glue gun too far. I realized I can't find any of our extra extension cords. I think I got rid of some of the older extension cords. I also had two of my girls move out, so I think they may have taken some when they moved out. I'm not sure though. I mean, if they took any, it would be from whatever they had in their own bedrooms, but still, it's like I'm missing a bunch of extension cords, so I can't really do too much with my glue gun, so I may end up having to move everything over at my desk here just so I can get this done. There, I'm just gonna glue that, and then, like I said, I cut out some circles. What I did was I traced the jar the best I could with just a piece of cardboard, and then just traced the felt. It's easier when you're dealing with felt because felt is so thin. If you can make a thicker template to trace and then cut out, especially if you're doing multiple things. I'm just gonna put some glue right around here. Like I said, these where did my glue sticks go? Oh, behind me. I just can't quite reach them. So I forget what I was going to say. Okay, I'm just going to glue this. All right, when you cut into these socks, they just fray. So I'm just going to put this piece of felt down here. And don't worry about that because I will be cutting off the excess felt just to make it a more, neater, cleaner finish. I just want to get this glued in. Same with all the little hot glue little pieces here, all these little spider web looking things. I will get those off in a few moments after it's all glued. Oh, that hurt. I got glue on my hand. Oh, try not to do that either, but every once in a while I do. I actually have those little fingertips, but I don't like them. I do like them because then I can glue with like ribbon and burlap and I don't burn my finger, but I don't like them because then I feel I don't get the same, I don't know how to explain it, but when you're crafting and you're doing things, if you can use your fingertips, you know exactly where everything is. When you put those on, then it just, I can't feel, and I find it harder to move some of the stuff. Another one of these little burlap circles. I was supposed to say square. Just put this on. Like I said, not too worried. I didn't quite get this one on quite as even, but that's okay because there's lots of hangover anyways. I'm just going to set these down. I'm just going to press down and make sure they're stuck good. So now I'm just going to lift up the top part here, and I'm going to put some hot glue on the inside of the rim, and then glue the sock inside. I'm doing that because the way I'm making these, because they don't have their lids. But I just find if I just glue this down in place in here, it's just going to help hold it and keep the shape. And it's going to keep especially for this one, it's got the Santa belt, it's going to keep it more straight. I have to put a little more glue just on that one spot here. There. That one is all glued. I'll do the same to this one. Okay, and I'm just going to take my scissors here. I'm just going to trim. that. So it just gives it a nicer, cleaner finish. I find sometimes doing some of these extra little details. You don't have to, but I just like to try to make the crafts look a little bit more better by removing all stickers, all labels, even if you're going to be painting or spray painting and gluing, even if you're not going to see the stickers. I think it just helps to elevate your crafts. I know this one's a little more choppy. These scissors are just having trouble cutting through felt. These scissors are covered in something. I think I cut through hot glue with these one day. So I think now they're covered in the glue. That's okay. I will fix this in a little bit. I just can't seem to cut this one front here. It got stuck with the hot glue, but that's okay. I will, like I said, I will fix that later, not on camera, just because I don't know. I'm one of those people who sometimes when I find something like this that bugs me, I'll end up taking it apart and redoing it. So I'm not going to look at it right now. I'm going to deal with that later. I'm just going to go on and continue with these. Next will be their beards. Now, I couldn't find my, oh, excuse me. I could not find my faux fur trim that I have. I've got rolls of it and I couldn't find it. So, I do have some of these little Swiffers pieces, which we had, because I used to have a Swiffer when we were in a different house. We had the mini blinds. So this is actually one of the Swiffers that go for the mini blinds. But I've seen people use these Swiffers for, lots of crafting. And so I just pulled one apart and I'm just going to cut it in half. And I found that worked perfect. Now this has got this extra little thing here. I'm just going to snip this off. Now once you cut into these Swiffers, they will really start to fray, but that's okay because it gives you a more realistic look. I mean, they're kind of, all the little end pieces are all choppy and it gives it a really cute looking beard. But like I said, I guess I missed a few. There's just a few flyaways still in here. And I'm just gonna, I gotta cut this little piece here. So all the loose end pieces, I'm just gonna trim those off as close to the furry stuff as possible, but don't want to cut into the furry stuff, except now. Now I'm just going to cut it in half, or about half. You'll end up with two really nice fluffy beards. Now, so cut ends is where you get all the flyaway stuff. So you just go like this and shake out as much as that stuff that's going to come off. I'm going to even this out just a little bit. So I'm going to switch to the other scissors. These ones any better? These aren't any better. These ones are also covered in hot glue. Okay. So now when you do this and you shake them, you're going to definitely see which direction these little things want to fall. Because like this way you can see it wants to go this direction. So this will be the top of his beard, just watching the way that the little things fall. Same with this one, just look at it and see which way that it all falls. Oh. It's hard to tell, you just kind of have to play with it, but I think it wants to go down this way. Like that. So you just go like this. So this is a really big beard here. So next I'm just going to glue the beards on. Like I said, for this one here that had this, I glued it on to here. So I'm going to use the bigger, fuller beard to cover up this. So I'm just going to put the glue right on this pad part. I'm just going to glue right over top of there. See, so we get his nice beard. And then I'm going to glue his nose on now. I've just got these little wooden beads. I know these ones have the holes in them. I just buy, the ones from the dollar stores. I think Dollarama, I think, is where I got these ones. It's a pack of I don't know, close to 200. It might be the big pack of like 400, I forget. But I buy the larger packs. And then you got a spot just right where you want to see that the nose just wants to sit right in there. I mean, you could fill the hole with hot glue if you wanted to, but I find if you just find a spot where the beard kind of just is all really fluffy and you kind of bury it in there, you're not going to really notice the little bit of the hole. Do the same to this one. Just got all this other cut stuff all stuck here. Now, because this one, I want to see more of this belt, I'm actually going to glue. Oh, don't want to put your hands in the glue. I'm just trying to make sure I've got it going the right direction. I'm just trying to say I'm going to glue this one higher up. So then you get to see more of the belt, although I don't think you can see any of the belt, but I'm just going to fluff it up. And I can always just trim some of this excess stuff off here at the bottom, so I think I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim extra stuff here at the bottom, just so you can kind of see the belt. There. And glue the bead on as well, the same way. Just a little bit of glue. And just kind of stick it right here, right kind of where, just kind of on these things, they kind of just have a natural little indent, right where you cut them in half and right where all this stuff goes, and it just works perfect. Now I said I didn't have any felt, and I didn't have a lot of material right now. I just red material. I had this piece of this odd red material. It's very see-through. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty see-through. It's very thin, and it was just an odd piece, and I was trying to figure out how to make the Santa hats. And so what I did was I was just playing around, and so I didn't have quite enough to make it where I normally fold the paper, fold the material or whatever in half, and then glue it or sew it, and then flip it inside out. So what I did was I just measured around where I want it to go. So if I just kind of want the hat to kind of cover the nose, so then I just take my piece of material and I just kind of put it there, and I fold it around, coming around both sides at the back till it comes around to the back, so it can meet at the back. So I kind of know approximately how much I will need. And so this is in like almost like a triangle, but it's a wider triangle, and then I've got it rounded at the bottom, because I tried to do, if you do, normally it would be like a square or a rectangle piece and you fold it in half to get that triangle shape of a gnome's hat, but it wasn't working, so I had to do it this way. But before I do that, I'm going to add some faux fur trim to their hats. Just making sure I get the right side because I can't tell the difference. Now, I couldn't find my really white fur. I found this one and the more brown ones. This is what I found recently at the dollar store, or from Dollarama. These are $4 each. And it's the faux fur yarn, and so it's by Knit It. So it is for knitting. But I like to use these for my gnomes for things. But I couldn't find the straight white one, and I don't really like the brown. I thought the brown would be okay, but it really is too dark. It really looks dirty. So I'm going with this one. It is kind of still gets that dirty look, but it gives you the contrast between his hat and the beard. So this beard just looks so much more white. So this is what I'm going to use. And I'm not a knitter, and I know I pulled it the wrong end out. Maybe I'll just take it off of there, because it's just going to want to do that anyways. Set this over here. I know there's supposed to be a way you pull it from the inside and then it unravels easier. I grabbed the open end and started pulling and realized that was the wrong one. But all I'm going to do is just put some glue. Fine strip of glue. Now I got to be careful because this material is so thin that when I was making the other ones, if I press this into place, I'm actually going to have the glue seep through underneath, and I'm going to end up gluing my hat to my table. So I actually did that yesterday with the first one I made. And this yarn wants to curl, so I just want to get this all lined up nice and even. I'm just leaving a little bit extra on the end so I've got some overlap. I'm just going to do the same to this one. Just find it easier just to do each step at the same time. When you're making multiple gnomes, I always like to do the same step. So if I was making, like, I don't know, I'm making 2, so I'm doing 2. But if I was actually doing all 4 of these at once, and I would be doing every step at one time, I just find it so much faster when crafting. Not everybody agrees with that, but I like to make multiple crafts at once, and I like to kind of do the same step. That way you're just doing the one step once for each one. Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just trying to get some faux fur on here. So now I'm just going to take this one, and I'm just going to put a little glue on the top of his nose. And I'm just going to take his hat. I'm just going to fold it so that I'm going to take the tip or the top part. I'm going to fold it forward. So then I got find right where the center kind of would be, and put the center of the hat right on that nose, right where I had it. And then I'm going to glue. I don't know if my glue gun's not going to reach till I do this. I'm just going to put some glue right here at the top edge of the jar and wrap this side around. So I want to glue right where the fur is, right around like that. And then do the same to this side. Put the glue kind of right up close to the top of the jar. And then wrap it around like this. And right where these two meet. And then I get this extra little bit of fur, so I can just do that, and it kind of hides up. Kind of hides that a little bit. And then for this part here, it's just put some glue right along the one that's like more like the inside seam, like that, and then just fold it over like that. So you get his hat. He's got a nice little hat. I didn't quite seal at the top because I just have to get a little more glue up there. Things happen to my glue gun. This is why I've got glue on my scissors. It's because I do this every once in a while. So I've got his hat done, and then I got these pom-poms. I got a couple different sizes, so I'm going to give him this really big pom-pom. My glue sticks are just melting so fast today. I think I've gone through making these ones. I think I've gone through more glue sticks I did than when I did those other two. Okay, I'm just going to glue the pom-pom to the top of the hat. Just going to let that, and then let the hat kind of fall however it wants to fall. And I do see all this glue because the pom-pom just rolled out of place, but I'm just going to have to hold it for a minute longer without gluing my finger to it, and then just kind of letting his hat fall like that. I'm just going to do the same to this one, but I'm just going to go a lot faster. I'm just going to put, now this one's a little bit trickier because I've got his beard down lower. So no, I don't know if this is going to work because I realized with the other ones I had their hats quite high up. So I don't know if I've got enough material to go around to make his hat. I may not. Okay, let's see. That's not going to work. So I measured it for it all to be up here. Okay. Well, I'm going to make it work anyways. Let's put some glue kind of around where I need the hat to sit, but I'm kind of angling it more up towards the top. It just works at the back. So I'm just going to glue. See, on this one, it wants this one here to be the one that's going to be tucked inside. And just kind of fold this over. Get his hat more pointed. There, just have to. Like I said, this material is so thin, like this glue is just seeping through the 2 layers of material all over my fingers. And then I've got another little pom-pom here. Glue a pom-pom to the top of his hat too. There. And let his hat fall however it wants to fall. So I kind of let the hats decide how they want to fold. I mean, you can always use the glue and have the hats to go exactly where you want them, but there we go. There's the 2 I just made. Now I said this one here, I mean his nose, you can see that it's the bead. So what I'm going to do for him is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, because I said sometimes you'll end up seeing the bead and you don't always want to see the hole. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the hole, and I'm just going to tuck some of the beard up onto it, just to kind of hide the hole a little bit better. There's the 2 that I just made, and these are the 2 I made yesterday. So there we go. Out of 2 pairs of little kid socks, 4 glass jars, some pom-poms, faux fur trim, and a Swiffer duster piece, I got 4 little Santa gnomes. So I'll set these on my fireplace mantle, and I will show you what they look like. So there are the 4 little Santa gnomes on my fireplace. But just step back. So I've got this fireplace screen with Santa on it, and then I got my 2 large Santas. I'm starting to decorate my house for Christmas, but I realized that less of my kids at home, then you don't really do much for decorating anymore. Not so much for kids. But there's the 4 Santa gnomes. Okay, so I just want to say a big thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channel and watching my videos, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.